Tonight's crime story comes from Baldwin County, Alabama, where a 17-year-old boy is accused of fatally stabbing his mother and seriously injuring his father. Authorities say Samantha Baker, 37, was pronounced dead after deputies responded to the family's home on July 5, 2026. Her husband, Lance Baker, 46, survived but required hospital treatment. The teenager, whose name has not been publicly released because of his age, has been charged with murder and attempted murder. Investigators believe the attack followed a disciplinary incident inside the home. Deputies arrived to find a family home transformed into a violent crime scene. Samantha Baker had suffered fatal stab wounds. Her husband was also badly injured. Police arrested the teenage suspect at the scene. A neighbor later described disturbing surveillance footage that reportedly showed Lance Baker running from the home while calling for help and leaving bloody handprints on nearby doors. That video may become some of the most important evidence in the case. It could establish the timing of the attack, the father's condition, where the suspect was located, whether anyone else was present, and how quickly neighbors called for help. Investigators believe the violence began after the teenager was disciplined. That does not explain everything. Detectives will still need to determine whether the attack was sudden or planned. They may examine previous family conflicts, the teenager's online activity, mental health history, threats made before the stabbing, and whether the weapon was retrieved during the argument or carried beforehand. Because the accused is 17, another major question is whether the case will remain in juvenile court or move into the adult criminal system. What determines whether a teenager is prosecuted as an adult? Courts usually consider the defendant's age, the seriousness of the offense, prior history, planning, public safety, and the potential for rehabilitation. First, the family argument escalated. Second, Samantha and Lance Baker were stabbed. Third, the father escaped and called for help. Fourth, deputies responded to the home. Fifth, Samantha was pronounced dead. Sixth, the teenager was arrested at the scene. Seventh, he was charged with murder and attempted murder. 1. Whether the teenager is tried as an adult. 2. Lance Baker's recovery. 3. Release of the surveillance footage. 4. Whether prosecutors allege premeditation. 5. Whether the defense raises mental health evidence. A disciplinary dispute inside an Alabama home allegedly ended with a mother dead and a father critically wounded. Their teenage son now faces murder and attempted murder charges as investigators reconstruct how an ordinary family conflict became deadly.